Well, Henry, take it away. What do you support that Donald Trump has done with immigration?
Yeah, so basically, he's doing what immigration is supposed to be doing, taking out people who broke into this country, whether they got,
Hmm.
yeah, and as a
So
naturalized
you
citizen,
support mass deportation then?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as a naturalized citizens, I do agree with that, and I do believe that people who support immigrant, who are anti-immigrant, no, who are pro-immigration, specifically if they're citizens, is like a slap to our faces, because,
Sure.
like, yeah, yeah.
Okay, what's one benefit of mass deporting undocumented immigrants?
What's one benefit? Yeah, taking out people who aren't supposed to be here. That's
So
that's literally
that's what mass deportation is. Mass deportation is going to be deporting undocumented immigrants who aren't supposed to be here. So that's going to be like circular. You're just telling me what
it's
mass
not.
deportation is. I'm asking you
Yeah.
for a benefit for the average American. What is one benefit, material benefit for the average American
Okay.
of mass deportation?
Okay. I'll explain it the best way I can. I know that a bunch of immigrants coming here, or illegal immigrants coming here, are taking jobs that
So
that
jobs,
Americans.
more jobs for
Hey,
Americans then.
relax, bro, relax. Yeah. So immigrants are taking the jobs that Americans could possibly work, but I mean they don't work because why? They're lazy, but also because there's no job because of all the illegal immigrants coming here.
Sure. It's going to be false. According to American Immigration Council, for every 500,000 immigrants removed, 44,000 U.S. born workers are going to lose their jobs. Not only that, companies don't have the incentive to hire American workers once they remove 11 million unauthorized workers. There's actually more of an incentive to do that with mass amnesty. So the whole thing with
It makes
jobs is just propaganda that was spread by the Trump administration.
No, it makes sense that the corporations don't want to hire American citizens because they will have to pay them proper wages, and
Right.
American citizens will need dental this and that, and with the immigrant, I mean you can pay like if I was your boss and you're an illegal immigrant, I could pay you $4.50 with no dental, with no this and that, and just under the table, compared to if I have to hire a U.S. citizen, I have to pay him the proper way, take out taxes and this and that. So it
No, but
does
I'm saying
benefit.
we'd lose jobs within the job market as well. According to American Immigration Council, like I said, for every 500,000 immigrants removed, 44,000 U.S. born workers would lose their job.
Yeah,
Right. So
I
American
don't care
citizens
what
would lose their
I
job.
don't care what that says. I mean, you're asking about my opinion, my position on
But
this situation.
you
I'm
said you
telling you.
support mass deportation because there's
Yeah,
more
I do.
jobs available for Americans. That's just
Well, that's not
subjectively
the main
false.
reason, but I guess that's just one of the
So
reasons I
what's
gave.
but that reason's not like valid because that's just objectively false.
Is well, my opinion is objectively false. That's subjective
No,
because you
no,
can't really
the
tell me my
fact that you
opinion is
said.
false.
No, the
That's
fact that you said that there would be more jobs, that's fact. I don't care
Well,
about
I
your
didn't say
opinion
that
on
there
why
would
you
be
think
more
it's correct.
jobs. I did say that there would be more jobs for the United States citizens. Yeah, I do agree with that.
But that's
But
not true.
it's not true according to the website you provided me. I
Yes.
mean, this is just coming from my subjective opinion. I'm not gonna do the research
Well,
for
it's
all
coming
this and
from
that.
facts. It's basic supply and demand. There's no incentive for these companies to upsize. There's more of an incentive for them to
What do you
downsize.
mean upsize?
Like hire
Hire
more
U.S.
people.
citizens?
Yeah, hire more people in general. Yeah,
Yeah, like U.S. citizens, right? Of
sure,
course, there's no incentive because of the reasons I gave. If you hire U.S. citizens,
precisely.
you have to pay them the proper wages, and you have
That's
to
why they
do it.
downsize their companies also because of basic supply and demand. When you have less people in an economy, you're gonna have less demand, which means you're gonna need less supply, right? Which would decrease the amount of jobs available because there is less
And when
demand
you
for
have
certain
a
goods and
surplus of
services.
people, then when you have a surplus of people, then there will be goods and high. The goods will be high in demand, right?
Yeah, when you have more people in the economy, you're gonna have more
Yeah,
demand.
more people that
You're
aren't
gonna need more
supposed to be
supply.
here. Yeah,
So
the
how about
legal
we just make
immigrant.
how about we just do mass amnesty and give them residency or citizenship?
No, I don't believe to become a U.S. citizenship it should be easy. Absolutely not. It
Why
wasn't easy
not?
for me, and it shouldn't be easy now.
Okay, just because it wasn't easy for you doesn't mean it shouldn't be easy for other people. You should be
Yeah, and as a
advocating
you, yeah,
since you know that it was a tough since you know it was a tough road to go through to become a United States citizen. You should be able to like you should be telling people or advocating for a better system that works for everybody.
all right, take it emotion out. I don't think that we should just accept any people that want to be a U.S. citizen to the United States because as a U.S. citizen, I prefer perfection or excellence. And if someone from Iraq who has an IQ of 80%, I mean of an IQ of 80, and they want to be U.S. citizens, I don't think that's gonna benefit us compared to like a Japanese person who has a high IQ that wants to be a citizen. Like for example, Japan. If you want to be a U.S. citizen in Japan, you can't just walk in there and say, "Hey, I want citizenship."
We're
It's
not
not that
Japan, we're
easy, and I
America.
want
We're
that same
different. Let me ask
standard.
you a question.
And I want hold on. Why aren't you attacking my position? I want that same standard for the United States.
Okay, first off, we're not Japan, we're America. Second off, if you want to base it on IQ,
It's
I
not
think
basing
most
on IQ. I'm
Americans,
giving you an
you literally
example.
just mentioned IQ.
I know I mentioned IQ, but that's not the basis of my
Most
argument.
Americans would not be Americans then, if you want to base it as on
And I
IQ.
literally
Okay,
said that I'm not basing it on IQ. I'm saying that I
so
want
then what are
as
you
a
basing
U.S.
it on?
Okay, if you listen to what I said as a U.S. citizen, when I want a U.S. citizen to be someone to become a citizen here, I want excellence. I don't want someone with
How
an
do you
IQ of
how do
80.
you like how do you define excellence? So is it
Excellence.
IQ?
No, no, not IQ. No, absolutely
Because
not.
you
No, that's what
literally
we have.
mentioned
That's what.
IQ again after repeating it, and you mentioned
Yeah, I was
excellence, and
repeating
then
the
you
same.
repeated
I was
IQ.
repeating this. I was repeating the same point that I was giving you, but I was going to give
So
you another point, and you interrupted me.
if I was confused on the point that you made, why would you repeat the same point again? I'm
I'm not.
confused.
I'm not repeating the point because I thought that you were confused. I'm repeating the point because I was going to give you another point. I would just wanted you to understand the first point. Then I was going to get to the second point, but you just interrupted me. So if you just let me continue, then it might work out for you in your head right now. I'm not saying that
Yeah,
IQ is the
take it
top.
away.
All right, appreciate it, dog. Yeah, I'm not saying that IQ is the foundation of why we should have a different type of citizens. I'm saying as a citizen of the United States, I prefer someone, my next door neighbor, if they want to be a citizen, to have excellence. I don't want a dumb person from Iraq to be a U.S. citizen and
It-
for able to vote and then to affect us all. You know what I'm saying? I want the same standard that's why I gave the
So you
Japanese.
don't want dumb people to vote?
Absolutely not. No. Why?
You're just making the same point. Like you want excellence, you don't want like a quote unquote dumb person from Iraq. I don't know why you keep on mentioning like people from Iraq. There's gonna be like
I'm just
people
mentioning
who are
people
not
from
the
third world
smartest
countries. I didn't want to
from like
mention
every single
Mexico
group
because I didn't want to hurt
of
people's
person.
feelings.
Right. So first off, second off, yeah. So if you don't want
First
people,
off,
you
second
don't
off,
want dumb people to you. Yes, that was my first point about you mentioning that. The second point would be you said you don't want dumb people to vote, so you don't think you should vote or MAGA. Any
you're
MAGA should not vote, right?
you're attacking them. You're going into like a meta conversation about the smallest points I made. Like my whole contention isn't that I want a smart citizen to be my citizen. My
It's
whole contention.
literally what you said.
All right, can you stem in my position real quick then?
Can I steelman your position? I will try to
Yeah.
steelman my your position as
All
best
right.
as I can.
Okay.
You
Go ahead.
said in order for someone to immigrate into America, you want excellence. Okay. You gave some examples as to someone you would not want to immigrate to America, i.e., an Iraqi that has an IQ of 80. Okay, someone who's dumb should not vote. Those are some examples that you do not want in America. Is that a good enough steelman position?
I mean, you're not still my position. You're just still mailing. You're not even still my position. You're just saying the things that are like you thought I said. Like, do you
Is
want
that
me to
not
still
what you said
my
word for
position too?
word?
You told me why doesn't it benefit the United States to have a mass immigration, and I gave you my. Oh, I thought you took me out, and I gave you my reasons, and then for some reason you went all the way over here, and now that we're all the way over here, you're attacking a position that wasn't my main position. That's why I asked you, could you stand by my position? And you literally couldn't. You just gave me the ending of your position towards my paradigm.
I literally repeated exactly what you said verbatim. I did not change anything. You
Yeah, I
said you
told.
want excellence. When people immigrate into America, you want excellence. You don't want
Yeah,
an
I said
Iraqi
that
that
it
has an
shouldn't be easy.
IDIQ.
It shouldn't be easier route to become a U.S. citizen. Yeah, I said that it shouldn't be easier route to become a U.S. citizen, and I gave you my examples that you're not attacking my main position, which is why I want certain excellence to become a U.S.
Okay.
citizen.
Sure. Let me just ask you a question. Would you let someone who's like a rapist immigrate into our country?
If it's properly vetted and we know that it's actually true, yeah, no, why, what, no, I wouldn't want them as a
You
citizen.
wouldn't. You wouldn't let them immigrate into the country?
No, I wouldn't want them to become a U.S. citizen. I'm pretty sure they might break their way in, but no, I wouldn't want them to become a U.S. citizen.
So then, if you don't want them to become a U.S. citizen, why do you want them to become president? You hold a higher standard for
So
immigrants than like the
you're
president.
literally. Did you just see how you shifted the whole?
I did shift it because we went in circles
Why?
there for 5 minutes, and I don't think you understand the point that you're making. I repeated the exact point you made about the whole excellence thing, and then you said I did not steelman your position correctly, and then 10 seconds later you said okay you did, but you're not attacking my main point. But I thought your main point was about excellence, and you want excellence in America. I,
No,
I,
that
I didn't understand, so I chose to move
no,
on
my
because
main
you're not
point
making your
wasn't
point.
my main point wasn't I want excellence to be in the United States. You asked me two different questions, and I answered those two different questions. And from those two different questions, you came to the
Sure.
proposition,
Then
hey,
what's your main point? What's your main point? And then we can talk about Donald Trump being a rapist.
yeah,
But
my
what's your main
main
point?
point was that I support Donald Trump's immigration policy. And then you asked me, do you think that
I
mass
said
immigration?
why. Yeah, I said
Yeah,
why, and
I
then
gave you my
and then you
reasons,
said
and you
mass
said,
deportation.
yeah, yeah, relax, dude. And then I gave you my position, and you said, and then you ignored my position, and you asked just another question. Okay, how does that benefit the United States?
What
And I
position
gave
did
you
I
how
ignore?
you ignored me. Let me see. You ignored when I said, what was it? What was it? Relax, relax, buddy. I'm in a brain
If you
fog
ever
right
need
now.
to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. If you haven't already, double tap that phone screen, repost the live, share the live, do all the wonderful things. There's a poll in the YouTube comment section as
Oh,
well.
geez,
I don't
you're
want to ignore
rambling.
any of your positions. I don't know what position you think I ignored. I think I addressed all the positions that you have presented throughout this debate.
I refuse. No, you literally the
Okay,
only
then what
position
position?
the only position that you thought you were attacking was you thought that the foundation of my whole argument is that IQ. You kept attacking that, which is you were literally strawmanning me, and I was
It
just
was
trying
a
to find
steel
my
man because
words
that's
before
what
you
you
interrupt.
said. It's not
So
a straw
I
man, it's a
never,
steel man.
I never. No, a strawman is that you're attacking the own position that you made. That's a strawman. No, I know what it's still. I know the difference. Relax, buddy.
No, a straw man is where you like misrepresent
And
someone's
that's what
point
you
that you
did
made.
because my whole position and the whole foundation wasn't about IQ, but that's why you kept attacking. That's why I'm saying you're
Then what's the
strawmanning.
foundation of your argument as to why you support mass deportation and why you dislike mass amnesty?
Oh,
What's the foundation of your argument?
I don't know what mass amnesty is, but the reason
Mass
why
amnesty is where you provide every single undocumented immigrant who hasn't committed any violent crime or bad crime a pathway to residency or citizenship without them having to leave the country.
oh yeah, because I literally told you why I said that it shouldn't be easy to become a U.S. citizen. Yeah,
Okay, so the reason why you don't like mass amnesty and you prefer mass deportation is because it shouldn't be easy
that's not my
to become a
position.
U.S. citizen.
That's literally not my position, dude. This is why I'm saying dude, you're so pathetic. To your second point, yes, I don't agree with that process. It shouldn't be easy to be a U.S. citizen, but because of that, that's not the reason for your first point. You see how you're pathetic,
Okay,
dude?
so you don't like mass amnesty because you don't think it should be easy to come into this country.
Exactly, yeah. And I said
Okay,
that
is
I
that a
want the
good
same
steelman?
standards.
Is that a good steelman?
And I
Yes,
no, that's not Stillman. Hold on, wait.
that is a
What'd you say was a
steelman.
Stillman? No,
Yeah,
no. What'd you say was a Stillman?
a steelman of your position is gonna be you saying you don't support mass amnesty because you don't think it should be that easy to come into this country. Is that a good
Yeah, yeah.
steelman of your argument?
Stillman, my argument is you repeating back what I just said,
Right?
and you
Is
didn't
that
do
is
that.
that what you said though?
Yeah, that's what I said, and I said I want the same standard that Japan has for their citizens,
Okay,
which is the
okay,
same
sure, sure,
standards I
sure.
hold.
Perfect. So, okay.
Hold
So
on, do you have a problem with my standards? Do you have a
you
problem with
told
my
me.
standards?
Hold on.
What do you have a
Mass.
problem with my standards to be a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I do. Give me 1 second. Mass
So you
amnesty
would
and
have
then
a problem
Japan.
with the Japanese standards to be a citizen as well.
What is Japan's standards for immigration? Can you tell me?
The same reasons I gave you, the same reasons Japanese gave you, but they're more strict.
So, what position? What actual requirements does Japan have for immigrants?
Japan has they want for U.S. citizen you have to have a certain IQ, you have to have a certain degree in college, you have to speak fluent Japanese. You're
I feel like
either your
this is
mother
like
or your
not
father.
true.
Okay, can you? Okay, all right, yeah, refute me. Can you give me give
Sure.
me a
While I
.org or
research this,
.com?
let's
Put
see.
the requirements to be a Japanese citizens, and those requirements, those are the same standards that I want to apply. Where you have to speak fluent English, take the U.S. citizenship in
Let's see.
English.
Visa, tourist visa.
No, to be a U.S. to be
I
a
know. Hold on.
Japanese
Yeah.
citizen, the requirements, and I hold to those.
Okay. Can you give me a source that like you have to speak fluent Japanese to like be a citizen?
Why don't you just look it up? You're like you have the computer. Just look up the requirements to be a Japanese citizen. If you don't believe what I said, just look them up. Like you have the tools to do it right now. Fact check me, bro.
Sure. While I do this, can I attack your first position? You said it's too easy to become a U.S. citizen.
I
Why
didn't
do you
say it's
believe
too
it's not?
easy. I never said it's too easy.
In terms of mass amnesty, I'm referencing.
I
You
don't
said
know. I
mass
don't
amnesty
agree
would
with
be too
mass
easy
amnesty, and I
because it's
never
too
said that
easy,
it's too
right?
easy to be a U.S.
I
citizen.
literally wrote it down in my Google Docs. "Quote unquote, mass amnesty is too easy."
No, I never, dude. Yeah, you're literally lying. I never said that. I said that it shouldn't be
I'm being
easy to be a
trolled.
U.S.
Yo,
citizen.
I'm being trolled.
Yeah,
I'm being
you're trolling
trolled.
yourself. I never
Yeah.
said it should. I said it shouldn't be easy to be a U.S. citizen. That's what I
Let's see.
said. Rewrite your
Let's
docs, dude.
see.
It takes you this long to see the requirements to be a Japanese citizen?
See. Dum dum dum. Yeah, I'm not seeing anywhere here that you have to speak fluent
Yeah, what are the
Japanese to
requirements?
be.
Can you let us know the requirements?
Yeah, your documents. I'm trying to see assessing your eligibility. Getting necessary documents. The application process. Um, and then preparing for the interview and citizenship test. You would learn about Japanese history, culture. Um, yeah, so that's gonna be the process. I'm not sure
Yeah, I
where
agree
you're
with
like
all of
getting
that.
this.
I agree with all
Where
of that.
and nowhere in this article that I'm reading that's coming from. Uh, let's see. I just clicked on the first article about becoming Japanese. Let's see. That looks like a trusty source. Um, yeah, nowhere on this article here does it say you have to speak Japanese.
Read the requirements, dude. It's so simple. I don't
Yeah,
understand
give
why.
me a source. Provide me a title
Just
of an
dude, the
article.
sources that you're looking that you think the sources that you think that are reliable. Read the
No,
requirements,
yeah, I,
dude.
I'm I'm looking at two different sources.
Okay, and
I'm skimming through it. I'm skimming through it. First off, these
read
don't
some
say
of the
requirements.
requirements.
It says the process, and I told you the process. I told you the process, and it has nothing to do with like having
What
to
are the
speak fluent
requirements, dude?
Japanese.
Why are you negating them?
Yeah,
Read the
where can I find the
requirements.
requirements? Where?
Dude, you're literally on Google right now. I don't have a second device. Why are you pathetic?
You can swipe out of the app and then tell me the title of the source whenever you're
All
back in
right,
the
bro.
app.
If you can't
Find
do it,
find me an
if
app.
you can't do it on the screen that you're looking at right now, that's crazy. But all right, man. All right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
go look at it
looking
right
at two
now.
different sources. Let's see.
And from
Yeah,
those two
this is
different sources, you can't give me the requirements to be your citizenship. Come on, man. Don't
a
be so
U.S. citizen.
stupid.
No, a Japanese citizen.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
search.
yeah. Look
Let's
for
do
the
Control
requirements
F.
to be a
Let's just do
Japanese
Control
citizen.
F. Let's do Control F. It just says required documents. Let's see if I can find a different source. Let's see. I swear this person's gaslighting me because he is changing his position on like what I steal man of.
Okay, when did I
Proficiency
switch my
test.
positions, dude?
Yeah, you said that mass amnesty was gonna be too easy for undocumented
I
immigrants, and then
never
I
said
repeat.
that, dude.
Do you want?
Dude, there's
Yeah,
no
do you want to make
reason
a
for me
bet
to
on that?
gaslight
Do you
you.
want to make
I
a
gained
bet?
nothing.
Yeah, do you want to bet a
Yes,
bet?
yes. Yeah, yes, please. If you're
I
recording, please,
got you.
please, yeah.
I
Rewind,
got
please.
you.
Yeah.
I
Drop
got you.
everything. Yeah, rewind.
I got
I
you.
never said it's too easy. I said it shouldn't be
In order
easy.
for someone to immigrate into America, you want excellence. E.
You're not even still in my position. States to have. I gave you my reason, and then in a position. You just gave me.
I literally repeat on excellence when people
Like why I want.
just
Do, do,
this is properly vetted, and you want to let them let everybody. I don't say that I'm not stealing your position. May chose to
no, my man came to the proposition. What you on Trump's? Yeah,
why not?
I gave you change the United States. When I said having trouble finding it, huh?
No, I just scrolled too far.
It's a steal, man. Oh man, no. I know what it's still. I know because my whole
Foundation of you provide every single
come from position, dude. This is what I'm saying. It was the reason for your personal think it should be. You thought I was gaslighting you. You can't even find it. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, got you.
You see how you're pathetic?
Okay, so you don't like mass amnesty because you don't think it should be easy to come into this country.
Exactly. Yeah. And I said
That's you agreeing to the claim that
what
mass
was the
amnesty
claim?
is going to be too easy to this
No,
country.
what was the claim? Say, say
Mass amnesty would be
no,
too.
no. Play it
It
again.
would be
Play it again. Play it
easy.
again.
Yeah, I can play it again. Hold on. Just rewind 10 seconds. Okay,
No,
so
no.
you don't
Right?
like
No,
mass
rewind 20
amnesty
seconds.
because you don't think it should be easy to come into this country.
Say
Because
more.
of that, that's not the reason
There you go.
for your first point. You see how you're pathetic,
Okay,
dude?
so you don't like mass amnesty
They still agree with that.
because you don't think it should be easy to come into this country.
Exactly, yeah. And I said that I went to
Exactly.
same
What are you
standards.
Is that a good
doing?
steal,
And I,
yes?
Yes.
no, that's not still, man.
You say you
Hold on.
don't agree with amnesty because it shouldn't be easy to come into the United States, and I said yes. You
So
said
the
that
reason-
I thought, and you said that I said that it was easy to be a U.S. citizen. Look at you, dude. You're pathetic, bro. We just caught you in your own rewind, bro.
So just to clarify, the reason why you don't like mass amnesty.
No. Am I wrong about the claim you made?
There might
No,
be some
didn't
miscommunication.
you say that I say it's easy to be a U.S. citizen? Didn't you say that?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, no. Whoa.
I
Okay,
think,
now you're gaslighting me. No, rewind this. No, rewind yourself saying that. Because you
Hold
literally
on.
told
Can
me
I-
that
can I-
I said
can-
it's easy to be U.S. citizen. That's why I told you to go back
and
and
then I fixed
rewind.
my words because I misspoke, and then literally
Nah,
5
dude,
seconds
you're
later I said my
literally
words. But hold on,
gaslighting
hold on.
me, dude.
Let's
There's
just
no way.
let me clarify.
You literally proved yourself
Let me hold on,
wrong,
hold on,
and
hold
you're
on. Let me
gaslighting me right now, dude.
hold on. Let me clarify. The reason why you don't like mass amnesty is because it would be too easy, correct?
No, because that's not my reason. I didn't even say that when you rewind, dude. Why are you lying? Dude, why are you laughing? You rewind and you say that I said that amnesty means that it's too easy to be a U.S. citizen, or that I said it's too easy to be a U.S. citizen. I never agree with that. That's why I told you to rewind, and you did, and you literally saw where I agree that I don't agree with the amnesty because it shouldn't be easy to be
Because
U.S.
you
citizen.
think mass amnesty is easy, right?
I know. I didn't say that, and I never did. And when you rewind, it didn't tell you that.
What the fuck?
Dude, I just
Okay,
caught
do you know what
dude.
mass amnesty is?
Yes. What? No.
Okay, what is
was
mass
the
amnesty?
Wait, what was the definition you told me? And I didn't agree with that. That's why I said it shouldn't be easy.
Mass amnesty. Okay, do you agree with this? Offering undocumented immigrants a pathway to residency or citizenship without them having to be deported or leaving the country, the ones who haven't committed any violent crime or bad crime. Do you agree with that?
I said no because it shouldn't be easy. The same thing I
Okay,
said that
so
you
the
rewind
reason why
back
you
to.
don't like mass deportation is because you believe it would be quote unquote easy, yes?
No, repeat that one more time.
The reason why you don't like mass amnesty is because it would be quote unquote easy, yes?
No, I never said that. I'm still not
Okay,
saying that.
you didn't. Okay, okay. Let's go back to English. You said you would not like the process of someone becoming a citizen without them having to leave the an undocumented immigrant becoming a citizen without them having to leave the country.
Yeah, after
if they haven't
broke into
committed a
the
violent crime or
United
bad
States,
crime, aka known as mass amnesty. You said you wouldn't like mass amnesty because it would be because you don't want it to be easy, inferring that you
Yeah.
believe mass amnesty is an easy process, which you don't like. Which means
No, I
that
never
you don't
said
like
it's
mass
easy, and I'm
amnesty
not
because
inferring
it's too
that.
easy.
And I'm not inferring that, and I never infer that. In all the position I gave,
Okay,
I never infer that
hold
it's
on.
easy.
Hold on? Is undocumented immigrants becoming citizens or residents without them having to leave their country if they haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime? Is that an easy process for them?
Repeat that one more time.
Is an undocumented immigrant becoming a citizen or resident who haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime without them having to leave the country? Is that an easy process?
Is that an easy process for them to be a U.S. citizen after
Without
they
them having
broke?
to leave the country? Yes. Is
Yeah,
that an
after
easy
they broke
process?
after they broke into the United States.
Yes. Is that an easy process? Yes or
Yeah,
no?
yeah, that would I would say that was an easy process
Okay.
in that context. Yeah, in the way you described it. Yeah.
Do you want it to be easy?
No, I want it to be hard.
Okay. So the reason why you don't like mass amnesty is because it's too easy.
Yeah, and in this context now, yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Okay.
So what's the
Why?
point then?
The point is you were gaslighting me. Now we'll move on.
Well,
Why
'cause I
do you
didn't- I
want
never
immigration?
said- yeah, in
Why
the
do you want it
context
to be
that I meant
difficult?
I never said it. I
Why
never
do you
said
want
it
it
the
to
way
be? Why do you want it to
were
be?
saying
Why do
it.
you want it to be difficult?
Dude, the way that I disagree the first time wasn't in the same context that I agree now.
Remove it.
There's a
Why do you think?
difference.
Why do you think it should be difficult?
I gave you the reason, but I'm gonna do it again. The reason I don't think it should be the reason I think it should be difficult is because I just don't want any dick John Harry to just say, "Hey, I want to be a U.S.
What?
citizen," and then they get accepted. I don't want that.
Why?
I don't need to give you a reason. I mean, it doesn't benefit the United States to just accept anybody that wants to be a U.S. citizen.
It's actually wrong. I mean, the massive surge that happened under Biden is going to be insanely beneficial to the
The
American
massive
economy.
surge under Biden benefited
Yeah,
the United States.
the American economy, absolutely yes.
Yeah, you
That's going
by
to be a
saying
false
that you
premise.
just gave up the whole this whole debate, you just gave it up by saying that the mass immigration that came during Biden benefited the United States. You
Yeah, I
really
think
no, is
immigration
that
is
like, do you
beneficial.
really think that's true? Do you really think that's true?
We can look at the statistics on it. You don't have to take
Yeah,
my
okay.
word for it.
Okay. What are the statistics? Give me this. I don't know what statistic you're talking about that
Yeah, I got
that
you.
could
I
tell us
got you.
that the mass influx of all those immigrants under Biden greatly affected, yeah, the United States.
I got you. They pay 1.1 to 1.7 trillion dollars into the GDP every single year, and then they also pay $100 billion in taxes on the state, local, and federal level. 22 billion
Illegal
in Social
immigrants pay
Security.
taxes?
Yes, they do.
How?
State and local taxes. You have property tax. You have sales
When you're
tax,
buying like
federal
groceries and
taxes. You have
stuff, is that the
ITIN.
taxes you're talking about?
For local, yes, and then also the state is
So
going to
not
be
taxes like throughout the end of the
well, that's
year,
a
like how
tax.
Americans do, huh?
Well, no, they do. They do. If you let me finish, so state and local are going to be sales tax and property tax. Everyone has to pay those. And then for federal level, undocumented immigrants get ITIN numbers, which gives them an opportunity to pay taxes to the federal government. Now it's way less to the federal government than the state and local taxes. But we can acknowledge that not all immigrants do, undocumented immigrants do pay them. That's why I offer mass
And I would
amnesty
say the
to make them
majority.
all legal and to make them all pay taxes. That's why I go for mass amnesty because it'll be more beneficial not only for them, they won't be exploited, but for our economy as well.
So you do want anyone to just be a citizen of the United States to just get it?
As long as they're not a violent criminal
Well, how
or
would you
a
know
bad
if
criminal.
the people that came under Biden weren't vetted?
Yeah, that's why we vet them. That's what mass amnesty
So
does. We vet them.
is that what they did during Biden's administration when all the
We're not
influx of
doing mass
immigration?
amnesty. We're not doing mass. They didn't do
Were they
mass
vetted?
amnesty.
All the illegals
The
that came under
undocumented
Biden's administration, were they vetted?
the undocumented immigrants were not vetted. No.
All right then. So you just
What does have
agreed
anything
with me.
to do with the point that I made?
I just asked you, do you agree that we should all just allow any U.S. citizen to be a U.S. I asked you, should we allow just anybody to be a U.S. citizen? And you said, no, we got to make sure that they haven't, you know,
That's why we
committed a
vet the
crime and
that's
rape.
why so that's why mass amnesty vets the undocumented immigrants, and the ones that are violent or bad criminals, we deport them.
What makes you think that they're gonna do that when they didn't do that under Biden's administration and they've
We
let so
didn't have
many
mass
unvetted?
amnesty under Joe Biden's administration. We haven't had mass amnesty since Reagan with the Cubanos.
And it has so if it hasn't happened, why? Because it has. If it's
because
so beneficial, like you
because
say, why has
Republicans
it
and
happened?
Republicans and Democrats like playing a ping pong where they ping pong the issue of immigration,
So it's
which
me and your
negatively
fault,
affects everyone.
my position and your position's fault that amnesty hasn't been there since the last president. You just said.
Repeat.
You just said that it's the left and the right's fault because they're playing ping pong.
The
That they haven't done that
establishment Dems,
amnesty.
yes. Establishment Dems, yes. And
So okay,
establishment Republicans.
it's been a few decades, and if it's so beneficial, why haven't they done it? You say why? Because they're
Yeah,
playing
so
ping pong.
Obama did greatly benefit immigration via DACA, via multiple other programs, and then we obviously have 10 years of Donald Trump. So the first 4 years, obviously Donald Trump ruined immigration. Under Biden, he was an establishment Dem. They tried getting a bipartisan border bill to fix the core issue of undocumented entry, but it failed because why? Because the former president Donald Trump told Republican judges to vote against it, and then he won in 2024, and since then he has been ruining immigration again. So hopefully, once we vote in a progressive in 2028, that's when we'll make actual change with immigration. Not only just doing mass amnesty, but fixing the core issue of undocumented entry, which would incentivize people to come in legally, not illegally.
So when I asked you if amnesty, whatever, is gonna benefit it, why haven't they done it? And your response, can you just quantify it in like
Because
in a few sentences?
sure, because Democratic establishment and the Republican establishment likes to ping pong issues like immigration. Donald Trump ran on immigration, saying he was going to fix it. He did not in his first term. Biden said that he was going to fix it. He tried to, it failed. And then Donald Trump said he was going
How
to
did it
fix it in his
fail?
second term. It failed. Yeah, I already explained this to you. Donald Trump, the former president at that time, told Republican judges to vote against the bipartisan border bill. The bipartisan border bill would have built the Mexican American wall and would have funded more immigration judges and courts, which would have made the process faster and cheaper, which would have incentivized legal migration, not illegal migration.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention to the comments. But yeah, so you're basically, I really
Let me ask you a
can't.
question. You said you
I
wouldn't.
can't.
You
Hold
said
on.
you
I
said
can't really
you
give
said you
you.
wouldn't
I
let an
can't really
undocumented
give you.
immigrant into this country.
Hold
You
on.
said
I
you
can't
wouldn't let
really
an
give you a
undocumented
rebuttal
immigrant into
to
this
all the
country if they.
shotgun points you made. I can't really give you a rebuttal
Well,
to all of
sure.
that.
I only made like 2 points, but that's fine.
Yeah, and
You
I
said you
can't give you
wouldn't
a
let.
rebuttal to that. But that doesn't make my position false or true.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of does. We can't give up rebuttal to that.
Okay,
I'm
my
right for now. You're
so
wrong for.
how would the information that I don't know what you're talking about would make my subjective position false or true?
Um,
Because
I don't even think
there's
you
no
have
way
a.
for me
I
to
don't
fact
even.
check you live.
I don't think you even have a position.
So when I asked you, can you steel man my position? You gave me a position that I never made.
Not in reference to like what we're talking about now. No, but you didn't ask me to steal my position on this current subtopic
Yeah, because we're
of the
still talking
overall
about the same
topic.
positions we were talking about earlier. Why would I tell you to steel man the same position we were talking about like 10 minutes ago?
Right. Let me ask you a question. You said you wouldn't let an undocumented immigrant into this country if they raped a woman. Why do you have higher standards for immigrants than the president of the United States of America?
You're saying President Donald J. Trump raped somebody
Yes.
objectively?
Yes.
According to what?
Law.
According to the law?
Yes.
So what law do we have in America that objectively says Donald Trump raped somebody?
The court of law determined this.
The court of law determined. Okay, so can you give me that? Like, you can't just randomly
You want
say
the
it.
document?
Yeah, give me the documents
Got
to
you.
Donald J. Trump raping somebody.
Would you support him if he raped someone and you knew that?
If it's true, obviously no, I wouldn't support him. No.
It's right here. Mr. Trump sexual abused Miss Carroll. Yes. This was a jury verdict.
Oh, Miss Carroll, the same one who refused to go back to the jury to talk about it. She denied all those.
No.
She denied all of that. Yeah, that's objectively
She
true.
denied what?
She denied all those sexual. Just Google it right now. It
What
literally
do you
it's
want
not
me
true.
to Google?
Yeah, Google. It's not that
Okay,
lady.
what do you want me to Google?
What was her name?
E. Jean Carroll.
Yeah, type in Agent Carroll. What's it called? Denying the rape claims.
So you're saying E. Jean Carroll said
Just
Donald
Google
Trump
it,
didn't
bro.
rape
Just
her?
Google it. Just Google it, bro. Just Google it.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it. Which source do you want me to look at?
Any source you think is reliable, dude. So simple.
Trump denies the rape claims. Trump
That's
denies
crazy
sexual
because I
assault
didn't say
allegations.
Trump is the reliable source. I say whatever you find reliable.
Well,
If you find it's not reliable,
I searched up. E. Jean Carroll denies rape claims.
yeah.
She's the one who made the claims against Trump. So I don't know why she would be denying her own claims. That
Yeah,
doesn't.
just Google it. Hey, just Google it, bro.
I googled it.
Whatever
The
website
first,
you think,
the
whatever
hold on,
website you think.
the first website, the title: Trump denies sexual assault allegations. Let's see.
That's not the girl.
Trump asked Supreme Court to overturn E. Jean Carroll verdict.
So that's not the girl.
E. Jean Carroll v. Trump PDF. Trump denies sexual assault claim
That's
of
not the
accuser.
girl.
Donald Trump sexual misconduct allegation. Carroll v. Trump. E. Jean Carroll said that she does not want to consider herself. This is from Facebook. Yeah, so I don't know what you want me to look at. That's what you said is false.
But so I asked you, like the lady in denying that, and you're just giving me
The lady
sources
did
that
not
talk
deny
about
this.
Trump. She literally did deny it. I'm not making random stuff up. There's no reason for me to lie about
If
this.
she denied it, why was he still held liable?
What does liable mean? That you're guilty?
Found to be responsible. Yes, the jury found him to be responsible.
So he was guilty, right?
In a colloquial sense, yes.
What does colloquial mean?
In a term that a society uses in terms of guilty.
But legally, was he guilty?
Legally, he was guilty for essay at the time.
So why wasn't he arrested if he was legally guilty
Statutes
for
of
essay?
limitations.
Huh?
Statutes of limitations.
What
A civil
statute of
court.
limitations?
A civil court does not
What
determine.
statute?
Can you let me finish? A civil court does
Yeah.
not determine criminal charges or criminal convictions. A civil court determines liability, whether it be via any finances, any of that sort. So they don't determine criminal charges. A civil court. Please tell me you're trolling, Henry. Like, you cannot be like this dumb. You gotta be trolling. So how come she couldn't recall the location or date? Yeah, 1995, 1996. Um, quote unquote, can't support people who would protect quote unquote illegals more than American citizens sick. And he's left.